Now, Swindon, of course, need 1 point to ensure that they'll be promoted. They've been chasing it for a long while. They lost at Aldershot on Tuesday, and the players issued an apology for going out drinking the previous Saturday. I mean, what do you make of that?
Naughty boys, weren't they, really? Silly behaviour when they're so close to such a great prize. But they've apologised, life will go on, and I expect a big performance from the players tomorrow at Gillingham. I think they'll seal the deal.
So if they win, it'll all be forgotten?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it's forgotten now. But the players, they'll want to put that right tomorrow. They owe the manager, and he'll get that tomorrow, I think.
Andy Hessenthaler, a former captain at Watford, is attempting to guide Gillingham into the League Two playoffs. With 3 games left, they're 4 points off the pace. Darren Eadie went along to make sure they avoid any schoolboy errors.
Principal's office.
OK, Andy, we've been sent to the principal's office. Do you spend a lot of time in the principal's office at school, in your school days?
Yeah, a few times over the years, I suppose. But generally I was OK at school. But now and again I ended up in his office, I've got to say.
In terms of Gillingham this year, playoffs still are there for you, only 4 points behind with 3 games to go. So how do you see it going? Yeah, we've got a chance, an outside chance. And I've got to say, as you said, we're a little bit disappointed over the last 9 games. And unfortunately this year, the inconsistencies perhaps been our problem. To be fair, it's been quite difficult this year, in respect of injuries. Everybody gets injuries, but we've had, I've never known a season where we've had so many players out through injury and long-term injuries. We've still got an opportunity, and we just got to make sure that, with 3 games to go, we give it every week we can, and who knows? Obviously, we're relying on other teams to slip up, and hopefully, if that happens, and we can sneak in the back door. You've obviously got Swindon this weekend. They lost out to Aldershot on Tuesday night. They haven't secured promotion yet. Yeah. So, do you see that as a benefit or as a negative for when you're playing this weekend?
Well, it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. Paolo Di Canio coming to Gillingham as well is a massive character and a legend in his own right. And I think there'll be a lot of people there to come and see Paolo. I think there'll be maybe quite a few neutrals there, to be honest, just to come and see him. Yeah, they can become champions, and get promoted. We've still got an opportunity to, we win the game, and let's say the results go for us, then we could only, be 1 point out of the playoffs with 2 games to go. So it's all to play for. It makes it exciting. I'm quite happy for that situation, I've got to say, and my players should be. And we've just got to make sure that we don't let the game get to us and go out there. Like I said, we've just got to give everything we can now for the last 3 games, show the fans that we're still up for the fight to try and get into that playoff spot.
Yeah, while there's a chance, you've got to go for it, haven't you, Sean?
Absolutely. I think everyone goes hard at this time of the season for whatever they're searching for. As it's a good finish, others will be trying to make sure they're not in the relegation zone, others are fighting for the playoffs or to secure promotion. So I think it's a valuable time of the year for everyone to keep demanding of themselves, and I'm sure they'll be demanding.
And I'm sure they won't be far away next season if they are in League Two next season. But their last few results have just slipped them out of contention a wee bit. Still got a chance, but it's an outside chance now. Just 1 win in their last 6 games. But, of course, League One and League Two have got 3 games to play still. So there's 9 points there.
Yeah, Andy will be looking to address that. But as we've seen many times, with that, 3 games is enough to change it all around.
Mm-hmm.
With 3 points for a win, and all of a sudden you're looking a lot healthier, after 1 win, let alone if you can put 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3. So it could change quickly for them.
And the chance to stop Swindon is an attractive one, isn't it? Big game, that one. Next one coming up. But Oxford and Crewe, Oxford 7th and Crewe 8th, that would be a good battle, won't it, to the finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Two good clubs who have kind of fought to put themselves back on the map, especially Oxford after coming from outside the league back into the league. And Crewe, renowned for developing players, renowned for continually developing players and playing young talent, and back up there again, fighting for the chance.
I think Swindon declared themselves the champions of League Two about Christmas with Paolo, but they're not far away, and he's a fantastic sort of charismatic manager, isn't he, Paolo Di Canio, especially in League Two.
It was interesting. There's some interesting moments. I remember one at Northampton was interesting.
Yes,
No, I mean he's got his own style, hasn't he? And he's not ashamed or afraid to use his own style or show his own style. And I think every manager manages in whichever way they think is correct for themselves, their team, and also the club. and he does it in his style for sure.
And he went
And he's
public
got
on a few
results.
players who had a night out.
Yeah, he's got results though, and
Yeah.
eventually that's what you'd be judged on, and he's got results and he's getting the job done. So far be it from a young manager like myself to question other managers. which I don't do.
No, absolutely not. But do you think that kind of style can work the higher you go up the league, or do you have to modify it a bit?
I'd like the chance to have a look at that, but no, I think you know, every manager will learn and change maybe their philosophy, maybe the way they deal with things. I'd imagine he'd probably have to change slightly, but that's entirely up to him.
Absolutely. Little look at League Two table and how they stand. Swinging up at the top there. They missed a chance to seal promotion in midweek, but will be promoted if they avoid defeat at Gillingham. Shrewsbury will be promoted if they beat Accrington and either Torquay or Crawley lose. Shrewsbury, Crawley and Torquay are guaranteed at least a playoff place. Southend will join them with a win tonight. No one can be relegated this weekend from League Two. Macclesfield and Hereford are in a dire situation. Barnet just 3 points above them, with Martin Allen back in charge again.
Yeah, survival the name of the game for some sides today. Of course, others have got ambitions to go in the opposite direction. This is what can happen today in the Championship. Of course, Reading are already promoted. They will be champions if they better Southampton's result today. We won't know that during our airtime, of course, because Southampton play late in the day at Middlesbrough, but they will be promoted if they win. Coventry must win and hope Bristol City do not if they have any chance of survival. And Portsmouth, likewise, will be relegated if they fail to win, but they're down regardless if Bristol City win. In League One, Charlton will be champions if they better Sheffield United's result. Sheffield United can go up today, but only if they win at MK Dons and Sheffield Wednesday lose. Now, Rochdale will be relegated if they win, but they'll also be down if Walsall and Leyton Orient win today. And you can see that Walsall and Leyton Orient are vital to the sides down at the bottom today, because Chesterfield, they'll be relegated if they lose, or if Walsall and Leyton Orient match their result, and Exeter will be relegated if they fail to win, or if Walsall and Leyton Orient win.
Or
You following this, Matt?
Exeter are playing Walsall.
Yes, they are. Yeah, very observant of you.
Ain't Chesterfield playing Rochdale?
Yeah.
On to League Two. Sorry about the intrusions and interruptions. Yeah, but, you know, I hope you're following despite that. In League Two, Swindon are almost there under Paolo Di Canio, aren't they? They'll be promoted today if they avoid defeat, or if Crawley or Torquay fail to win.
OK, to football. The BBC understands Swindon Town's first-team goalkeeper has been dropped from today's squad after a late-night drinking session last weekend. Wes Foderingham is among 4 players who aren't in the team today. The others, Lee Cox, Joe De Vera and Luke Rooney. Despite that, Swindon will be aiming for promotion to League One today if they can get at least a point at Gillingham.
Let's go and find out what's happening down at the Priestfield Stadium. Gillingham still within just a squeak of a chance of making the playoffs against Swindon Town side, who know that they will be promoted today if they avoid defeat. Paolo Di Canio was a very unhappy man in midweek, I can tell you that. Let's see if he's any happier today. Here's Kevin Watson.
I think he'd be well pleased with the start of this game. Swindon have been very, very good, Jeff. They've only had the one half chance. Oliver Rees, a dipping volley from about 25 yards, which was straight at Gazzaniga. But they're forcing Gillingham back. Gillingham can't get out. It's a real good response for them so far. 0-0.
Now then, let's go off to the Priestfield Stadium. Gillingham 4 points off the playoffs against the Swindon side, who are up if they avoid defeat today. I mentioned that Paolo Di Canio was not best pleased in midweek. Well, he won't be best pleased today either. Kevin Watson.
He certainly won't, Jeff. They've hardly been in Swindon's half, let alone their penalty area, but they've got a throw-on the right-hand side. It's a long throw-on into the box. Danny Kedwell rises highest. Phil Smith completely has no chance. It loops over his head and just drifts into the corner. As I say, Swindon have absolutely dominated this game, but Gillingham have the lead, 1-0.
Yeah, Danny Kedwell's 14th goal of the season, and it's great to see that sea threat, which had masked the crowd completely, and the last report that we had from there has lifted completely now. Gillingham 1, Swindon 0. Let's see if there's any sign of Swindon getting the equalising goal, which would send them up to League One. They trail at Gillingham by 1-0. Kevin Watson.
Yeah, but they're still playing well, Jeff, and had a chance to equalise literally 1 minute after the Gillingham opener. Phil Smith, the goalkeeper, bowls the ball out to John Bostock. A lot of space in the middle of the pitch. He picks it up, runs at the heart of the Gillingham defence, slips in Alan Connell, but his shot was weak and straight at Gazzaniga. They are playing very well. Connell paid for that miss, though, because Di Canio hauled him off after just 36 minutes. Still 1-0 Gillingham.
If it looks like Swindon might have to wait a little longer for promotion. Kevin Watson.
Yeah, it looks that way. Chris Whelpdale, Jeff, what an absolutely fantastic goal. He robs the ball off of Simon Ferry about 30 yards out, just on the angle, makes tracks towards the edge of the box and hits an absolute perler right into the far top corner. Phil Smith just waves it goodbye. What a goal. 2-0.
Yeah, well, they're still up as it stands, are Swindon today, but of course they're depending on other sides now. They're depending on Crawley or Torquay failing to win. At the moment, neither of those sides are winning, but they're both level, so it's very much on a knife edge as far as Swindon are concerned. Swindon in with a chance of snatching something from the game at Gillingham. Things stand, it doesn't matter in terms of promotion, but they won't want to go up with a bit of a whimper, will they? Kevin Watson.
Yeah, Alan McCormack, the Swindon centre-half, gets the ball, strides forward, 1-2 with Ronan Murray. Terrific shot, Gazzaniga, no chance, 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 they trail, but they're still going up at present. Swindon have lost at Gillingham today, but they are promoted. Paolo Di Canio may not be happy with the way they've done it, but it's over the season, not over the last couple of games, is it? They lost by 3-1 in the end. A last-minute goal for Gillingham, but despite that, Swindon are promoted by virtue of the fact that Torquay have lost today. There's Chris Whelpdale's penalty in the dying seconds. Not the icing on the cake as far as Paolo Di Canio was concerned. But it gives Gillingham a chance, just a chance as well, of reaching those playoff places with that 3-1 win. It's all over at the Reebok. Bolton Wanderers won.
The congratulations and the good news going at the Priestfield. Chris Dennis, congratulations to Swindon.
Very much so, Gabby. As I speak, 1,500 Swindon fans away to my right in full voice and red and white scarves aloft, because although they've lost the game by 3-1 today to Gillingham, by virtue of Torquay's defeat elsewhere today, Swindon are promoted to League One. It's been a long campaign. 1,500 fans, as I say, away to my right in full voice. Paolo Di Canio on the pitch, surrounded by television cameras and radio stations, microphones being shoved under his nose. It's been a mixed emotion for him today, and of course we should spare a thought for him on a personal point of view. Both his parents sadly passed away in the last 6 months. It is, though, his first season in charge as a manager. He achieved all sorts of things as a player, of course. Paolo Di Canio, one of the most quotable players in the game. This is first full season in charge of as a manager, and he's taken Swindon to promotion, and he'll want to finish the job in the remaining 2 games by clinching the championship title. We hope to speak to him in the next few minutes, but the news here from the Priestfield is finished. Gillingham 3, Swindon 1. Swindon, though, promoted to League One.
Congratulations to Swindon. It's not the way they would have wanted to do it. They've lost by 3-1 at Gillingham today. They were beaten in midweek as well, but they are promoted by virtue of the fact that Torquay have lost today. Shrewsbury picked up a point today. The title is still up for grabs there, by the way, of course. 4 points, the gap between the two sides. Shrewsbury have to wait a little longer to clinch their promotion. They have 85. Crawley edge a point clear of Torquay. They picked up a draw at Dagenham and Redbridge, while Torquay were losing at Wimbledon. A bit nervy, no doubt, at this stage. Southend, of course, are in the playoffs. They beat Barnet last night to confirm their position in those playoff places. And it's not absolutely impossible that they could yet snatch an automatic promotion place. 4 points off Crawley with 2 games to go. So many different equations are possible. Cheltenham stay 6th on 71 points, but they're looking over their shoulders now. Crewe in the playoff places on 70. They've had a magnificent run, unbeaten in 14 games. Their best run for something like 17 years has taken them into those playoff places. And Oxford are the side who drop out on 68. Gillingham, despite that win today, rank outsiders for a playoff spot. 4 points off the playoffs at the moment with those 2 games remaining. And well done to Swindon as well. Paolo Di Canio takes the salute. They've lost today. They've lost twice this week, in fact. But the Swindon travelling army, they don't care. It's over the season and they are promoted. They're not champions just yet. They'll have to wait a little longer for that. But just 1 season down in League Two. They have bounced straight back. Congratulations to them. Swindon promoted. Congratulations. It's a good day for Paolo Di Canio. I don't think there's any doubt about that. His side have lost for the 2nd time in a week, but they have achieved their objective, and that's promotion back to League One. Let's hear from Paolo, and now he's with Stuart Jarrald.
You lost the game, but you've won promotion.
Yeah, bad test for the game, but happy for the people, for my dad and my mom. I think they're proud in this moment, and it's obvious that there is some happiness inside myself.
It's strange that you lose 2 games in a week, but you're up there in the next league.
Yeah, because it means that before those 2 games we have done a fantastic job. But anyway, I'm very angry for the performance, if you know me. But we are going to examine this game Tuesday. Now is the moment for the lads to celebrate fair enough, because for 9 months, 10 months, they were amazing.
Yes. And what has been the secret all season, do you think? Sum it up for us.
The discipline, the commitment, the desire that we bring in here, and the players take inside themselves, you know, because few of them play last year in this club, but there wasn't a really good discipline and the commitment desire. That was absolutely the secret of this season, because we have some talented players, but you can't perform well for a long run if you don't behave as a professional and you don't commit as a warrior, you know what I mean? So they were good, and that was absolutely the secret.
So as a reward, do you think the players will get Sunday off? I'm not absolutely convinced, in truth. But well done to Paolo Di Canio, and well done to Swindon. He's brought a splash of colour, hasn't he, into League Two, no doubt about that.
Paolo Di Canio's Swindon Town have sealed promotion from League Two. That's despite losing at Gillingham today. Alistair Durden was there.
Swindon finally over the line. Celebrations for a whole season's work. Paolo Di Canio dropped goalkeeper Wes Foderingham for this game, one of 4 more players implicated in last weekend's late-night drinking binge. And soon his replacement was picking the ball out of the net. Behind again, the manager could only apologise to the travelling fans. At 2-0 down, Swindon got a goal back. And despite a Gillingham third, results elsewhere meant the party could start.
We've got to enjoy this moment, even though we got beat, we've got to enjoy it, take it in, you know, have a nice celebration before I go back in the bus and get ready for next week to try and lift the trophy at home in our own ground.
So Swindon have made it over the line, not perhaps how they would have wanted today, but there's a chance for another celebration if they win the title next weekend. Alistair Durden, BBC Points West in Gillingham.
Swindon have been promoted to League One despite a defeat at Gillingham. Paolo Di Canio had been disappointed with his side's defeat at Aldershot on Tuesday, and he was annoyed again when Danny Kedwell gave the home side the lead. It was his 14th of the season. Chris Whelpdale made it 2-0. Beautifully judged shot. For Alan McCormack, pull one back for Swindon with 9 minutes to go. That's a fantastic goal as well. Stoppage time there. Jonathan Smith brought down Curtis Weston. Penalty given. Whelpdale took it and scored his second of the game to make it 3-1. That's how it finished. But after Torquay and Crawley dropped points, Swindon are up.
Bad test for the game, but happy for the people, for my dad and my mom. I think they're proud in this moment, and it's obvious that there is some happiness inside myself.
It's strange that you lose 2 games in a week, but you're up there in the next league.
Yeah, because it means that before those 2 games we have done a fantastic job. But anyway, I'm very angry for the performance, you know, if you know me. But we are going to examine this game Tuesday. Now is the moment for the lads to celebrate, fair enough, because for 9 months, 10 months, they were amazing.
OK, to League Two now, and to Swindon Town, where issues off the field this week threatened to take the gloss of what could be a momentous week for the club. Paolo Di Canio's side went into the weekend's games just needing a single point to secure an instant return to League One. Although if either Crawley or Torquay failed to win their games, the Robins would go up anyway. Swindon went to Gillingham in search of that all-important point.
He's rarely been far from the headlines, but as Paolo Di Canio stands on the verge of professional success, it's also been a season of immense personal sadness for the Swindon Town manager. 7 months ago he lost his father, and then straight after last weekend's win over Plymouth he went back to Rome for his mother's funeral.
What's gone on with his family and everything, people need to understand he's been through a phenomenal amount. But he'd never use that as an excuse. He wouldn't want anybody feeling sorry for him. And when people see him over here, it's to talk about football and focus on football, and that's what he wants.
When Swindon went to Aldershot on Tuesday night, a minute's silence in her honour was immaculately observed by supporters of both sides. The game that followed gave Swindon the opportunity to secure their promotion, but after a 2-1 defeat, Di Canio tore into some of his players for going on a night out last weekend. Paolo done the right thing in chastising the players after what they did last weekend?
Definitely right, because it's what. First of all, he did bring the discipline into the club, and it was wound up, and they go and do something silly like that.
The players let us down at the end of the day, and he should just stamp it out.
Gaffer's made his feelings clear. I think the perpetrators are aware of what they can and can't do now, and we look to try and get a positive result.
Mark, I had a kid on the Saturday and we beat Plymouth, which other than goal difference kind of put out, so it was a bit naive of us.
If we could do the job today, then I think maybe not in the Gaffer's eyes, but in a lot of people's eyes, it would all be forgotten about, and we can go and celebrate and enjoy the occasion of promotion.
And so it's at Gillingham's Priestfield Stadium that Swindon hope to seal their fate, and a game that might have taken place behind closed doors after a dispute over policing costs.
There was a lot of sort of stuff going on that we secretly thought would all get sorted out beforehand, and it has been sorted out. And obviously you can't have a game without any fans. It'll be a full house, I'm sure, here. These are always feisty affairs with Gillingham. I'm sure it'll be a great game. They've still got a lot to play for. I mean, they've got a genuine chance of still getting into the playoffs. We want to get things sorted out today, so yeah, I always felt the game was going to take place and hopefully that we're going to win it.
Swindon's quest for that precious point hit the skids just before the half hour. Danny Kedwell's looping header had the leaders sweating. His 14th of the campaign gave Gillingham just the lift they needed, with their playoff hopes hanging by a thread. Louis Montrose went close to inflicting further damage, with Swindon relieved to hear the half-time whistle. The Kent club started the second half just as strongly. Chris Weltdale shrugging off Simon Ferry's challenge before chipping home a beauty. That meant Swindon's promotion party was firmly on hold, unless they could find some inspiration from somewhere. Alan McCormack's determination briefly raised hopes of a recovery. That left Paolo Di Canio's men just 9 minutes to find that crucial equaliser, but when Curtis Weston was sent tumbling in the box, there was no way back. Weltdale did the business from the spot, but Swindon could still be celebrating if Torquay or Crawley were to drop points.
Things didn't look too clever for Swindon when Charlie Wasmer gave Crawley an early lead at Dagenham and Redbridge. The youngster has made no secret of his problems with the departed Steve Evans. Now back in the first team, Wasmer gave Town every reason to celebrate after just 18 minutes. But another young player had a crucial say in this one. The name Billy Bingham certainly has a footballing pedigree. His great strike confirmed the Daggers will extend their stay in League Two. It also cost Crawley, who couldn't produce a winner in the second half. The usually prolific Gary Alexander looked well placed to get it, but he hit the scoreboard instead of getting on it.
Even if Crawley had won, Torquay were doing Swindon a favour at Wimbledon. Their form on the road is good, and Ian Morris should have given them the lead after hesitation in the Wimbledon defence. That was in the sunshine, then it started to rain, and rain, and rain. Substitute Rashid Yusuf didn't mind the change in the weather, giving the home side the lead with just 12 minutes left. 6 minutes later, the rain had stopped, but Torquay's woes continued, when George Moncur made room for a left-foot shot to keep the goals in fourth, a point behind Crawley.
It's difficult to celebrate for many reasons, but most important things because I want to finish as a champion, and then because already I'm thinking about the future. So it's obvious that for 10 minutes I can relax a little bit more and enjoy with the fans and the player, because during the season they're suffering together and they deserve this moment. and I'm happy to be a part of the group that bring back up this club in League One and hope for the future, maybe in Championship.
I got to ask you, of all you've achieved in your football career, where does this rank, Paolo?
But it's a very good level because first here as a manager, arrive at Wembley in JPT final and go up at the first attempt, I think is something, if not unique, really special.
He's got the club straight back up with the first chance of asking, and credit to him, he's his first year in management. I think we've had about 35 different players this year, so it's credit to the players as well, and we've managed to bond. Unless it's a great moment, it's a great moment for the fans as well.
Now you can celebrate. How's that feel?
It's a great feeling, obviously, but I think the boys are a bit down that we never played to. But I think we've been brilliant all season.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Exactly, we've had hitting a little sticky patch now, but the boys have been excellent and they deserve this so much.
Yeah, very well done to Swindon. So they're back in League One after just a year away. Has Paolo Di Canio surprised you in his first year as a manager, Steve?
No, I mean, we all know that at that level, Swindon are a very decent football club. He inherited some good players, added to them, made one or two signings start the season, didn't work out, but had room to manoeuvre. They've backed him. He's got a decent budget. You add all those equations together, and it makes for a successful side, and he's done his job very, very well.
There's been a lot going on at the county ground the last few days. The Italians clearly showed that he's not a man to be crossed, but also he's not afraid to make big decisions, even in crucial games like the one against Gillingham.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think players have admitted, and rightly so, they've apologised. They were, unprofessional in what they did last Saturday. You don't go out on a Saturday if you've got a midweek game. And I think everybody realises that. It's probably one of those rules at the club, maybe unwritten or whatever, that people adhere to.
Yeah.
So they've let themselves down in a way. They've also coincided with them losing games of football, which doesn't help either, does it?
No, nonetheless, congratulations to Swindon Town. OK, then, so to recap, this is what it all means as far as the tables are concerned. At the top of NPower League 2, Swindon secure promotion after just one season, despite that defeat to Gillingham. Shrewsbury's draw means they still need 2 more points to join the Robins. Crawley are now third, a point ahead of Torquay, who lost. Southend's big win on Friday means they still have an outside chance of automatic promotion. Crewe's remarkable recent run sees them in the playoff positions, as we mentioned, for the first time this season. Macclesfield, who are still without a win this year, find themselves bottom of League 2 for the first time this campaign. Hereford's point closes the gap between them and Martin Allen's Barnet, while Bradford, Dagenham, Redbridge, Northampton and Plymouth all secure their League 2 status. Charlton are the...
Swindon have achieved promotion despite a late season blip. Chris Whelpdale scored twice to condemn Town to a second successive defeat. Alan McCormack's goal was little consolation, but with their rivals slipping up, Swindon were assured of a place in League One anyway.
In football, Paolo Di Canio has told his Swindon Town players they've only completed half the job in winning promotion. The League 2 title is still up for grabs, but the manager says they'll need to improve if they're going to win it. Alistair Durden reports.
A relief for the Swindon fans to see their side finally get over the line. Now it's all about being crowned champions.
We played the best football in the league, so definitely deserve to be going up.
Di Canio and Swindon deserve it. They really do.
We'll never any doubt we're going to win the title. We are going to do it. We are going to do it.
It is still in their hands, despite a wobble at the wrong time. 2 defeats in a week has coincided with 9 of the squad being reprimanded for going out drinking last weekend. It's been a testing 7 days for the manager.
Sounds arrogant, but he did a fantastic job. to maintain the attention every single day, because they proved the last 2 games, if they switch off, like I told you many times, we are average team. We can lose easy against any side. For this, the job we have done until today is special.
Listen, the boys made a mistake. The gaffer knew that. The boys knew that. They stood up as men, and I think you've got to give credit to them. They were man enough to go and speak to the manager, and that's not very easy.
A win at home to Port Vale next Saturday will guarantee they are champions. Then they really will be able to celebrate. Alistair Durden, BBC Points West.
Swindon will be playing in League One again next season after finally sealing their promotion at the weekend. It wasn't achieved in ideal circumstances, though, as Paolo Di Canio's team stumbled to a 3-1 defeat at Gillingham, but results elsewhere went in their favour, and plans are already underway to take the club further. It was the party no Swindon supporter wanted to miss. 1 year after relegation, the immediate resurrection. The team danced before the massed ranks of red and white. They saved their loudest cheers for manager Paolo Di Canio, who lost both his parents recently during his first managerial season.
I can dedicate this first season to my dad and to my mom. That is a special moment for me. I hope they are proud up there. We have to win the finish as a champion, because 3 clubs plus 1 through the playoff will go up. Only one can be called the champion. I want to be nominated champion because I'm a greedy man. I don't want to only have the target, but do this in a special way.
The game itself didn't go to plan, though. Gillingham inflicted a second successive defeat on a nervy Swindon. Alan McCormack's goal, the high point of the afternoon.
I took the drop down last year to come and, I knew special things were going to happen with this club, and I knew the group of players, that were here and that were going to come in, and, I wanted to be a part of it, so I'm glad I made that decision and back up to League One, and this club's going to go places.
After being promoted by default, Swindon want to finish the job off in style and lift the League Two trophy here on Saturday in their last home game against Port Vale. But already, thoughts are turning towards next season and beyond.
We have to plan about getting out of League One at the first attempt and then consolidating in the Championship. I've always said I think that's Swindon's rightful home. Doesn't mean you can't have a crack at the Premiership and dream, but don't plan for it, because that's for different budgets altogether.
To see the plan through, they'll need to tie Di Canio down beyond the year remaining on his contract. Negotiations have already started. He's proved his doubters wrong, and Swindon have unearthed their special one.
And Swindon Town finally limped across the finish line as they secured promotion to League One despite defeat at Gillingham. Manager Paolo Di Canio is aiming for 2 promotions in 3 years and strongly hinted that he needed more money if he was going to make it back-to-back promotions next season.
I hope that we can maintain our promises, the board, myself, because we can be something special. The fans are amazing, the city is fantastic, the plan remains the same. We have 2 years to go up. It's obvious why not to try and have a 1 year advantage and go up straight away. But this is a question that I leave it to the board, to the others, not to myself.
Subtle, eh? Well, this afternoon the chairman made it clear he was determined to match the manager's ambition, initially in deciding which out-of-contract players to keep.
Paolo will let me know over the next few days who he feels is capable of going again, bearing in mind that we're not looking just to survive in League One. It's about going up and being at the top end of League One and fighting for position in the Championship. So we're talking about a requirement for serious ability and building a team again.
Well, back to the flip side of the whole teams going down business, which is teams coming up. And next up, it's Swindon, where Paolo Di Canio has greeted promotion in his usual quiet, uncontroversial manner. Oh, no, he hasn't, actually. Paolo instead telling the BBC that he was ready to walk out of the club a few weeks ago and having a real go at some of his squad's attitude too. Andy Stegel reports.
Swindon at Gillingham, and their ground was awash with red after the game. Despite a Swindon defeat, other results had gone their way, and the Robins had bounced straight back into League One at the first time of asking, leaving Paolo to unburden himself, because 45 days ago, he'd threatened to resign.
I tell you this secret that I didn't say before. I'm never going to tell you why I was nearly about 1 month, 45 days ago, resigned the contract. Everybody don't know, but I have to tell now that we are up. I tell you, 45 days ago, I was nearly to resign my contract, but I didn't only because I gave my words to the fans, to the board, and my players. because I thought if I go now, I thought Fabrizio, Claudio, we were in a meeting in my house with my technical staff, they don't go up. They also go, if they're lucky to go playoff, in playoff they lose easy, because this group need me.
Di Canio's been caught by both personal and club crises in the last few days. The death of his mother, then public embarrassment for the club after players were involved in a drinking binge. Result, 8 changes for this game. 4 players dropped for their involvement in last weekend's night out.
That is stupid. I don't see why. You don't have to celebrate, yes, with one, 2, 3 glasses of red wine or champagne, but why go drunk? How you can test, you can feel, you can live your moment if you're drunk and you go blurry. You know, why? I don't see why. I prefer to stay cool.
Match time and Gillingham went ahead. Danny Kedwell's header beating Phil Smith. And the Kent side doubled the lead through Chris Whelpdale. Alan McCormack gave Swindon hope of a more fitting promotion result. But Whelpdale got Gillingham's third in their 3-1 win.
I did a fantastic job. They were the protagonists, but I did a fantastic job. I can tell you now, sounds arrogant, but I did a fantastic job to maintain the attention every single day, because they proved the last 2 games, if they switch off, like I told you many times, we are average team. We can lose easy against any side. For this, the job we have done until today is special.
Special and fantastic, I would call it. Leroy, would people be right in construing that as a come and get me plea from Paolo?
Well, firstly, he has done a fantastic job, but, you know, saying that he's going to resign, is that the right time to be coming out with that sort of stuff? You know, he just won promotion. I think it is. It's a call to say, look, come and get me because I might be available, and to the board at Swindon to say, look, if I don't get what I want, then I'll certainly be off. So I think it's a double-sided sort of threat, and I didn't like to hear that, really, because they've done fantastically well with the players and they've worked extremely hard. It's just not the right time to come out with that sort of stuff.
He was also saying that he didn't want to celebrate on this occasion, or maybe just for 10 minutes, because he wants to get the title. He wants to be a winner, a champion. That's fair.
Yeah, and he is a winner. And there's one team out of that 4 that's going to go up. It's going to be the champions, and he wants it. And it's right that he wants it. We've just had a champion sat on here in Noel Hunt, and the championship of your league is just the thing to have. They are the best of that season, and it's right that he wants it as passionately that he does, and obviously he doesn't feel that his players want it the same intensity that he does.
All right, 4 points there clear of Shrewsbury, so they're still looking in the driver's seat for that one.
Yeah, but if we keep going like we perform, let me speak as a manager now, even if we went up, I don't lost the attention to our performances. It's difficult to become champion, because I told my player is very, very stupid. I can tell them they have to celebrate. They have day off tomorrow, but it doesn't mean that you have to go out and go drunk, because about why? I don't see why this habit. Someone can say, yeah, but normally the people do this, but that is stupid. I don't see why. You don't have to celebrate, yes, with 1, 2, 3 glasses of red wine or champagne, but why go drunk? How you can test, you can feel, you can live your moment if you're drunk and you go blurry. You know, why? I don't see why. I prefer to stay cool and feel all the atmosphere, the people around you that maybe celebrate you, have a hug with your teammates or with your girlfriend or with your wife or with your baby. I don't see why. That is not a part of, but this is our culture. It's not culture, it's a stupid culture. No, I don't want to discuss about English, Italian culture, about professional footballer culture. We went up, but 4 clubs this year will go up in League One. Only one can be called the champion. I want to be called champion as a manager. I will do everything to maintain the attention very high. The last 2 weeks, I couldn't be magic. Someone before was ironic, asked me, please, Paolo, next weekend, play your best team. I want to ask him, which is my best team? You don't train with us. You don't know what's going on in the dressing room. You don't know what's going on in the night sometimes. That was my best team. John Boston, as a second striker, proved that he can play next weekend. I hope now he don't gonna lose his attention, because he was the best player on the field. It was my intuition to play him as a second striker. I never played there. Normally play behind the 2 striker or a centre midfield player. You know. Today, someone asked Phil Smith if it was Wes on the goal, should consider the same goal. We saw what goal he considered at Aldershot, the first goal. Even a baby should stop this ball. He slapped the ball in front of a very slow ball. So, why? They were blurry. Joe De Vera went injury. It's an accident after 2 days. Alan McCormack, one of the best players of the season with Cadiz, Ricci. The worst mistake you can see from him. It was coincidence. So when the people ask, play your best team, which is in this moment? It's difficult for me. With all respect, Alan Connell at front. But I don't blame him for the rest of the season because it was crucial during this season. But we have to be honest. After 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, not the chance and the way he keep the ball. How I can keep him in the game. I change it with Murray. Murray deserves to go out after 2 minutes too. I'm not magic. I did a fantastic job. They were the protagonists, but I did a fantastic job. I can tell you now, I can sound arrogant, but I did a fantastic job to maintain the attention every single day because they proved the last 2 games. If they switch off, like I told you many times, we are average team. We can lose easy against any side. For this, the job we have done until today is special. Through Paolo Di Canio, his technical staff, and through them that they were concentrated. They wanted to keep the attention thanks to a person that was there and hammering them every day. They were the protagonists, but they proved they switched off 3 weeks ago. We were lucky at home. 2 weeks ago, 2 games in a row at home because we won the game, lucky games. But away from home, I was sure that we will lose easy. I tell you this secret that I didn't say before. I'm never going to tell you why I was nearly about 1 month, 45 days ago, resigned the contract. Everybody don't know. But I have to tell now that we are up, I tell you. 45 days ago, I was nearly to resign my contract.
Why?
I'm never going to tell you, but you know why I didn't do this? Because I promised my fans at the beginning of the season that I wanted to go up. And just because I was sure that you can think I'm arrogant. If I thought now, I broke the promise, I leave now, this team without Paolo Di Canio and his technical staff is capable to lose 13 games in a row. They proved in the last 2 games. I was here, but it was difficult because that's switched off already. I was good enough to maintain the tense, even if we went 1-0, and we are lucky that we switch off completely 4 games to go. 13 games ago, this team was capable without Paolo Di Canio and his technical staff to don't go up straight away, to go even out from the playoff position. The player never gonna tell you, yes, it's true, but I know why. And for this, I didn't resign the contract for the respect of the fans, of the board, and also of my player. Even if in the last 2 games, they didn't deserve my respect in some way. With all honesty, I told them already in the dressing room, we have to change the direction. Because if you become arrogant like we were in the last 2 games, we are average. We average player.